because they're giving their parents old devices now. So how young do you think we should start teaching sex education in terms of age appropriate, not the mechanics of sex or anything like that for young people, children, but if you look at, so in Northern Europe, in Sweden, Scandinavia, their approach and attitude to sex and sexual education is entirely different, and they have a very different society, most of which is shown by their equality, sexual equality, pay equality, and it's also defined by their public services. So someone dive in on that.
Would be happy to jump in on that. I think this is a very serious problem, worldwide, global, across cultures, across countries, where kids are vulnerable to sexual abuse, and it can happen anywhere at any time, with family members, with coaches, at churches. You never know, and it's sad, and it's very scary. And it may be difficult, maybe easier or more difficult in some cultures to try to have those conversations with young kids. But I think it's incumbent upon us to protect our kids, to let them know, hey, if someone touches you here or asks you to go into this room by themselves, you don't go, or you tell me right away, those types of things, to at least have it on a level where they can understand. You don't have to get into all the mechanics, but just what's okay, what's not okay.
Yeah.
Because those things are happening around the globe, and it's a serious issue.
So certainly, telling younger children what is appropriate, it would be a good start. Marilyn, what's your take on this?
Yeah, I mean, like, I was never taught sex education or anything. My parents would say, "Oh, go talk to your mother. Oh, go talk to your father." It's sort of like, okay, well, you just went to your friends. So I think, yeah, anytime, any age, anytime that child asks a question, or you're concerned about something happening in the neighborhood, that you should tell your children, like, okay, like Gregory said, if somebody's trying to get you into a van, you just have to help them to help themselves, to protect themselves.
Because Gazelle, our first panelist, she told us stories about when she was 6 years old. And so, yeah. And so, right, okay, we're nearing the end of our time. And what I'm going to do is invite you two ladies. So basically, Gregor and I started the LinkedIn Me Too page, but we can make you content admin people, which means that you can invite 100 of your connections every month. Ultimately, LinkedIn isn't making a change. There was the racist abuse for there's a soccer in Europe. Yeah, so the social media companies were up against a parliamentary inquiry, and they still aren't doing anything. So the fact that LinkedIn isn't doing anything means, to me, we need to get thousands and thousands of followers. Would you be prepared to invite your followers? I'll send you the link to the admin of the page.
Sure.
Yeah. And I think so for our last little section, I'd like Anusia and Marilyn to give the best wisdom you can that might help someone to recognize and stop this behavior. So Anusia, let's come to you first.
Okay, I'd like to suggest, like, the teenagers who are really going through this kind of behavior, I think it's a very high time now. You have to stop doing it, and it's like you try to utilize your time in a very very good ways, so that it will help you to grow your knowledge. There's some good informations that you have currently going. Education skills. You try to improve your education skills. If you are not doing anything at home right now in this pandemic, so you try to utilize your time by gaining some skills on training, different, you can say skills trainings. There are so many trainings are there. Mostly you can go to Udemy, now the online platform where you can use it. It's a very cheap. I mean the course fee is not so much. So you try to gain your knowledge in different subjects, like in whatever. If I can suggest them, if you are school kids or if you are college going kids, don't waste your time. Just try to utilize the time on gaining your knowledge on skills, different skills.
So basically apply yourself in a different way rather than sending off this random nonsense that isn't working and isn't making you look good and is, as Marilyn said, out there forever. Marilyn, your perspective, last sort of words of advice.
Yeah, I'm going to take off where Angelou said that get some skills, get some education, sign up for some classes, self-improvement, motivation. There might be a lot of children that have a lot of mental illnesses or depressed, or, because I think stress is the next epidemic. So if you're stressed out or you're angry or whatever, reach out for professional help for mental health challenges. There's lots of organizations that can help you. Also, like she said, sign up for a class, educate yourself, whether it's, your typical math, science, and English, sign up for classes like that. And also just sign up for classes that will improve your attitude toward people. It's being more self-aware, So there's a lot of things.
We'll talk another time, because I commented to someone the other day that self-awareness is not as common as I thought it was.
Yeah.
Because I use it a lot, and therefore I expected everyone else to be able to have it, whereas they don't always. Yeah. All right, well, look, we're going to come to the end of our show. So if our panel wave goodbye, and I will stop the recording. Thank you for joining us. And obviously, stop this behavior. Any men watching this video, just stop, reassess. Yeah. Right, I'll stop the recording. We see the only way to stop this is to bring these stories to light, so that with the original Me Too movement, women who are also experiencing this go, oh yeah, that happened to me as well, and they follow the page. Because if we can get 20,000, 30,000 followers, then we can say to LinkedIn, listen, this is bad, this needs to change.